On this episode of WGTV, the 2025 bond election is pending a change for students in Prosper.
What this new proposition would do is if approved by the voters, we would build a new standalone public library, additional reading areas, but really more importantly for students at the high schools here in Prosper.
One teacher is cherishing meaningful memories with her daughter.
At any instance, when you see someone having a rough time, I think our natural inclination as humans is to help each other. And so physically, emotionally, having a child drains you, even if the child doesn't have any challenges.
And one athlete brings hardcore dedication to his team.
He loves the interaction and being part of a team and being with the guys, and that's where we see him thrive the most, is when he's in those settings.
These stories and more on this episode of WGTV. Good afternoon, Wildcats, and thank you for tuning to this episode of WGTV. Live from the Grove, I'm Olivia Cook.
And I'm Ryan Shelton.
We have many exciting stories coming up, but first, Ryan's going to catch you up on what's been happening at the Grove. Ryan?
Thanks, Olivia. Many students and teachers across Prosper ISD rely on Google Chat. However, that's going to be changing soon. Christopher Munchmeyer has more on what possible restrictions mean for students.
Starting November 1st, students will no longer have access to Google Chat. This restriction bans all students within Prosper ISD from communicating with their teachers or peers.
So big picture, whenever they started looking at how much Google Chat's being used in our district, it became obvious that we're one of the top users of Google Chat in the state of Texas. And so that's when our district kind of looked at it of, okay, well, we have an issue, right? We want to make sure when kids are in class, we're not just utilizing technology to talk to people, we're utilizing technology to improve our learning.
Students aren't the only ones going to be affected by the upcoming discontinuation, but entire programs too.
For Google Chat, as of now, we have a class set up with each orchestra and our orchestra officers, and so any communication we use goes through that channel, through that avenue. So we have 10 days, 15 days to figure out a different direction to go. I would imagine it would be through Google Classroom. We'll have to figure out an alternative avenue that is definitely a need for the school.
Directing through chats and students communicating in class has caused for a massive increase in Google Chat usage. For WGTV, I'm Christopher Munchmeyer.
Some programs are already turning to other forms of communication, such as SportsU and Google Classroom. I'm really sad to see Google Chat go.
No, yeah, me too, especially since our program used it, and I also used it after I finished all my work, so I'll kind of be a little bit bored now.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit there and twiddle my thumbs.
Yeah.
But, Walnut Grove Theater students are collecting non-perishable food items to donate to the organization Trick or Treat so kids can eat. All donations support love packs and need to be dropped off in room 1301B by October 31st. And on Wednesday, the southbound lanes of the Dallas North Tollway were closed because an 18-wheeler crashed and was dangling off the side of the highway. The McKinney Fire Department was able to rescue both parties in the accident who sustained non-life-threatening injuries. The voting process in Collin County is changing back to hand-marked ballots. Collin County commissioners claim that this change will make elections more secure. Although votes are cast on paper, they will still be tallied electronically.
Prosper is holding a bond election at the beginning of November. It includes funding for upgrades to many aspects of the town. Hudson Acosta has the story on how these propositions can benefit students.
Prosper's bond election proposes a $192.3 million bond package that includes a new library, street upgrades, downtown improvements, and more.
Year over year, we grew 8.2% from last year to this year.
We've got 6 propositions. The first one is for roads. The second one is to expand the police department. The third one, Proposition C, is to expand and build a new public library. Proposition D is to add some additional funds for our Parks and Recreation. And Proposition E is to add some money to do and build a Public Works and Park Service Center. And our last proposition is to add some monies to some improvements in the downtown Prosper.
Proposition C would give Walnut Grove students access to more learning opportunities with the construction of a new library.
What this new proposition would do is if approved by the voters, we would build a new standalone public library, additional reading areas, but really more importantly for students at the high schools here in Prosper is to have study rooms in small areas where students and others in the community can use to have small group gatherings, whether for studying of projects, for tests.
If highest voted, the new library would cost $34.2 million and span 35,000 square feet.
Like we already have in the Walnut Grove Library, it's become a space that people can gather together. I think that the new library will only serve as another way to facilitate that gathering, and it should provide to be a good experience for students looking to study, learn, or just have fun with their friends.
This new bond package aims to keep up with the town's expansion and continue supporting infrastructure and community spaces. For WGTV, I'm Hudson Acosta.
Early voting has already begun and will continue until Election Day on November 4th.
A project to pump water out of the flooded East Texas region has been put on hold after a lawsuit with Wayne Sanderson Farms. The farm argued that the project would hurt their business. The project is assumed to resume once both parties in the lawsuit have reached an agreement. Southeast Texas is set to receive another cold front that could potentially bring heavy rain this Saturday. The total chance of rain within the area is 70% with 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. Pay attention to this week's forecast and stay prepared for the weather. You know, I feel like anytime I even think about washing my car, we get crazy rain like this.
No, I know it's crazy, but at least it's getting a little bit colder as we're kind of creeping into the more fall and winter seasons.
My prediction is, though, we're going to have like 2 weeks of good, solid fall weather, and then we're going to be right back to just dead of winter for the next 3 or 4 months.
Totally, 100%. 10.4% of all babies in the U.S. are born prematurely. One mother and teacher at the Grove is viewing her motherhood through a different lens. Emma McQuitty has the story.
Thank you. She actually wore that today.
This month, Walnut Grove students and staff welcomed back forensics teacher Mrs. Kraft after she went on maternity leave last spring to take care of her newborn baby, Rosalind.
Rosalind ended up being born on May 6th. I was sent into the hospital on Cinco de Mayo. I missed my 4th period class for my doctor's appointment, and they saw that she had signs of distress, and so they said, you just need to go straight to the hospital.
Rosalind was born a week earlier than scheduled, weighing only 3 pounds and 13 ounces, which was later found to be an anomaly of one of her 2 underlying medical diagnoses, affecting the path of her life.
We really don't like to discuss the name because we don't like people looking it up. It only breaks your heart. And at the end of the day, we don't want to focus on that. We know that symptoms are going to come. We are as prepared as we can be for the inevitability. And we want to focus on making the memories with her.
Rosalind is looking to overcome the possibility of going deaf or blind, facing neurological seizures or heart issues that could affect every organ system. Many of Mrs. Kraft's co-workers did what they could to support her in a time of need.
She's a lovely person. She is accepting of everyone. And she moves forward. Like, she understands that you just keep going. And she doesn't let anything stop her.
Okay, this one I had to take pictures of.
Mrs. Kraft is continuing to press on by cherishing every second she has with her daughter, taking her to school events, visiting family across the country, and even hiking volcanoes in Hawaii, making every moment matter.
I guess most of us would go, you know what, like, we'll do it when we have time. Or like, you know, when we're a little bit more prepared or whatever. And I don't want to do that. My husband and I both have lost people where it was, you know, we didn't get to make the memories we wanted.
For Mrs. Kraft, time truly is relative. And what's most important is the memories made along the way. For WGTV,
So you'll submit
I'm Emma McQuitty.
a distillation of what you read.
As baby Rosalind continues to grow, there is no doubt that her and her mother will continue to share unforgettable experiences. On the topic of unforgettable things, Walnut Grove's football team pulled off a near impossible upset against their biggest rivals, the Anna Coyotes. Jackson Kingerski is in studio for your sports recap. Jackson?
Thank you, Olivia. After being down 38-17 near the end of the third quarter, the Wildcats began to come back. With touchdown after touchdown, field goal after field goal, and 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, the score was tied. After holding Anna's impressive offense to 0 points for over 18 minutes, something that they struggled to do earlier in the game, the Wildcats scored one last touchdown and ended the game 45-38. And yesterday at Lovejoy, the Wildcats had an extremely close 29-26 victory over the Leopards. With a strong start in the first quarter, the Wildcats were up 14-3. However, after some back and forth action, the Wildcats were down 21-26 in the fourth quarter. A turning point for Walnut Grove is when number 31, Alec Hatcher, intercepted the ball when Lovejoy was nearing the end zone. And after a crucial rushing touchdown from Cameron Newton and a 2-point conversion, the Wildcats then held back the Leopards, and Walnut Grove won the game, bringing their record to a flawless 8-0. Now, let's take a look at our top 3 plays of the week, with some of them being crucial plays for the boys and girls to take it home.
Pass complete to number 6, Hayden Cooley. That is a touchdown.
In the most recent game against Lovejoy, number 6, Hayden Cooley, fakes the defender out and is wide open to run the ball in for a Wildcat touchdown. However, that's been a lot of football, so let's take a short intermission into the girls' volleyball team who played McKinney North, ranked 6th in the state. Even though the girls lost 3-1 in McKinney North, they put up a hard fight with this play. The volley goes back and forth between the girls, and to end the play, number 17, Sophie Leroy, slams the ball over the Bulldogs' heads to get the point. Now, we do have to go back to football for our final best play of the week from Walnut Grove's athletics. With a hurdle and important first down from Cameron Newton, the Wildcats not only score on this drive, but they look stylish while doing it. And with the end of this week's top 3, Luke Kemper looks a little further into the winter with powerlifting and the inspirational story of one of their athletes.
Dillon Diener, a committed student at Walnut Grove. Beyond his job at Chili's, he pours his energy into being the football manager and competing as a powerlifter. It is his unwavering commitment and passion for his teammates and peers that fuels the atmosphere of achievement at the Grove.
I think what makes him stand out is that he's funny, he's engaging, he loves interacting with people and really getting to know them, asking them a lot of questions, learning about them, learning about their family. And I think people are surprised at how interactive he is and how much he wants to learn about you.
Dillon's engaging personality and dedication clearly resonates with everyone around him. He not only helps the team out, but he's also a force for positivity in the halls of Walnut Grove.
I don't know, it's my favorite because I love them doing speeches with the teammates in football, and they know me since when I first started here, and I played football when I was in Hayes, when let's go and Rock Hill. This is my first year too.
Dillon values the connections he has made on the field. That bond is not just built on friendship, but a competitive mindset that is shared by himself, his friends, and his coaches.
Yeah, Dillon's awesome. He's an intense kid, man. I like to think of him as a dark alley guy. That's our nickname for our defense. He likes hanging out with the defensive guys. Like in the summer, he'll come up and lift with our team during sack, and he's just an intense dude. He's competitive. I've had him in my PE class as well, and just a fun guy to be around. Fun to joke around with. He's got a good sense of humor. So just overall, a great kid.
Whether he's managing the sidelines, powerlifting, or working at Chili's, Dillon Diener embodies the spirit of Walnut Grove. For WGTV, I'm Luke Kemper.
Dillon's standout personality continues to serve as a pillar of positivity for his teammates. That's all for your sports recap. For WGTV, I'm Jackson Kingerski. Back to you, Olivia and Ryan.
Thank you, Jackson. That's all we have for today's episode. For WGTV, I'm Ryan Shelton.
And I'm Olivia Cook. Thanks for watching, and remember, Wildcats, set the standard.